come with me to go get the new Emily Henry book, but we have a periodontist appointment first. A couple of years ago, I decided I really wanted to fix some issues that I'd been having with my mouth. And part of that included starting Invisalign, which I have no regrets on, but it's definitely been a lot longer of an Invisalign journey than I thought it would be. I finished my 60 trays initially, and then they were like, actually, we need to do some more to work on like your bite. So now I just started a whole new set, and there's 41 of them. So I'm only like a little over halfway done with my treatment plan, but I can't be mad about it because when I'm done, I know I'll feel so good about just having gotten everything fixed. So I do have I have rubber bands with Invisalign to work on the bite stuff too. But at one appointment with my orthodontist, he was like, I noticed you've got some gum recession, which could be from the fact that I grind my teeth so bad, which is part of why I'm trying to get all my stuff corrected in the first place. And so I went to the periodontist, and thankfully I'm okay right now. Now I get to go every 6 months to make sure that my gum recession is not bad enough to need a gum graft. Yay. So yeah, I'm going for that check-in, and then I'm going to the bookstore. I'm kind of having a little solo date day, and then I think I'm gonna hit one of my favorite coffee shops. So let's go. Okay, so the great news is my gums are fine, and we are at Barnes & Noble. So a little reading check-in. I'm having some reading and snuggle time with the kitty cats, but I'm about 128 pages in and I am loving it. I know this one has some mixed reviews, and oftentimes there is other plot to the story that is of equal importance or higher importance than the romance at any given point, and in this one I feel like that's particularly evident. But I am obsessed. I want to know everything about Margaret Ives, her story, her history, what's going on with her now, what happened to her then, why she disappeared, all of the fun stuff. So as you can tell, I'm curled up and I hope to get a lot of reading done this afternoon. But yeah, I can't put it down. I love her books. Okay, let's talk. So I finally finished Great Big Beautiful Life. And let me start by saying I loved it. Like, I ended up giving this one, I was really stuck between 4 and 4.5 stars, so I went with 4.25, which I know was slightly obnoxiously picky of me, but I don't care. I really, really enjoyed it, and I understand after finishing why there are so many mixed reviews of this book. It is a romance. Like, some people argue that Emily Henry writes women's fiction with romance, and so when you go into it expecting only the romance aspect, you're disappointed. But I would disagree. I think she writes romance, and it's discrediting to the genre to act like romance can't be full-bodied and have other plots that are equally as important in the story and that have deeper meaning. And I just like the emotion, the mystery, the intrigue is all so good. And when you add that with the romance story that is the primary driving force of this book, it like pulls together really well. I don't know. So I have seen either people who loved it and gave it a full 5 stars and people who have been incredibly disappointed because it just doesn't feel like a stereotypical Emily Henry book. And I get that because it is different. Like, it's definitely a branch out from her usual style. So I completely understand why somebody maybe wouldn't enjoy this one as much as her other books if you were looking for what you get out of her other books, if that makes sense. I, however, really enjoyed this, and I think part of that is because I went into it knowing that it was going to be different. I saw this book in advanced copy reviews, noted as being really similar to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I love The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So going into this, thinking of it more as a book like that than, say, People We Meet on Vacation, really set the tone differently and set my expectations differently, and might be why I loved it so much. I don't know. That being said, if I'm ranking Emily Henry books, this one's at the bottom. At my core, I am a beach read, People We Meet on Vacation, funny story girl. This, Happy Place and Book Lovers fall below those. that being said, I still love Great Big Beautiful Life, Happy Place, and Book Lovers. They're just in my ranking. You gotta put something somewhere. If you want to rank, you have to put something at the bottom. I don't know. That being said, I think it says a lot that one of my bottom books is 4.25 stars, and I think that's the lowest rating. So, I mean, Emily Henry remains one of my absolute favorite authors, so it just is what it is. I don't know. Her books make me happy. Every single one, even this one, when I'm reading through it, continues to remind me of, say, an early 2000s rom-com. And I don't want to give too much away about the plot, but it still feels like that to me. I don't know. I particularly loved the dual storytelling nature of this book. So we've got the present timeline. Alice and Hayden are both journalists, and they both are competing for this position to write a book for Margaret Ives. And Margaret Ives is basically a retired socialite. She's been out of the spotlight for years, went into hiding essentially, pulled herself away from it all, and now is for some reason open to kind of telling her story. And that goes into generations past. Like, she doesn't want to start with just her. You're learning about the history of her family and the reasons why she is the way she is. And I thought that was really cool because it adds even more characters to the story that you find yourself like enjoying and getting to flash back to when you get to flash back to them. So that was particularly cool. So there's this whole unraveling, right? You've got the present day, Hayden and Alice in competition, but also kind of obsessed with each other. Very grumpy sunshine. Every grumpy sunshine couple to me goes back to my baseline, which is Lorelai Gilmore and Luke Danes. Alice and Hayden definitely remind me of Lorelai Gilmore and Luke Danes. There's just something about the chemistry between a grump and a cutesy, happy-go-lucky girl. I don't know. It's adorable. I love it. I eat it up every time. And I loved that dynamic between Alice and Hayden in this book. I also love the dynamic that they're technically rivals because they're in competition for the same position. Margaret is only going to give this book opportunity to one of them, and she's given a month for them both to kind of interview, talk with her, hang out with her, earn her trust, and likewise, and basically get to move forward with her as she does like this tell-all. So I'm not going to say too much because there are some like really fun pop-up plots that did surprise me and really bumped this book up at the end for me. I would say when I was about 75% through the book, it would have pretty easily been just a solid 4-star for me, but that ending really made me think like, wait, do I want to give this 4.5 or 5 stars? And so it got me a little in my feels. It was really good. As we've come to know and love with Emily Henry, there's also like this self-discovery going on throughout the whole thing. You know, our main character Alice has a complicated relationship with her mom, and we're navigating that and we're kind of learning why. And Hayden has this inner, I want to say almost turmoil, and you're not sure really where it comes from. And so he's learning how to kind of like come to terms with some things he realizes about his personality based on how he grew up, and maybe, you know, learning to connect and find intimacy with somebody else in a way that he's not done before, he's not opened up before. And we love when that plays out in a romance. So Great Big Beautiful Life, I'm gonna say 4.25. Maybe 4.5, but probably 4.25 I'm gonna stick with. I loved it. I want to know too, if you read Great Big Beautiful Life, did you also love it? Were you in the camp of people who were pretty disappointed with it? Did it meet your expectations? Was it different than you thought it would be? And if you haven't read it yet, are you planning on reading it? I would love to know. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching while I yap about one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you, and we'll talk soon. Bye guys.